There comes a point in many relationships where you wake up one day and you realize this is never ever going to work. It doesn't matter what we do, it doesn't matter how hard we try. This is just not a good relationship. We've all been there, I've been there, you've been there. And most recently, as many of you heard, so have Major League Soccer and Apple TV. The reports came down late last week that the deal that was originally in place for a 10-year, $2.5 billion deal between Apple TV and MLS will end now in 2029, as opposed to the original plan of 2032. So, to break this down simply, Major League Soccer next year for 2026 will be paid $200 million for it as the last full-year calendar campaign, $107 million for that shortened 14-game season that they have going on, and then another $275 for the 2027-28 and 2028-29 campaign. This deal also has Apple TV giving up its right to terminate the contract in 2027, which to me is a little curious because I figured they actually came out on top with this whole thing. This is something that I think a lot of us have realized very quickly. This was not a deal that was going to work. This is not a deal that was ever going to be in Major League Soccer's favor. Apple TV is very clearly coming out on the winning end of this. They got to showcase their talent, they got to showcase their skill set, and they got to show the world what they are capable of for, frankly, bigger sports than Major League Soccer. NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA Finals. I mean, there's a myriad of different options these guys can run with right there. The quality of Apple TV, I have to say, was really impressive. Wasn't too crazy about the fact that the broadcasters a lot of times do it remotely, but the video quality was always really kind of there. So I think Apple was able to show what they did, show what they're capable of, and got what they wanted. As far as Major League Soccer goes, this is honestly they're coming out on the bad end of this divorce. And it's something that I think in a lot of ways Don Garber in Major League Soccer and whoever replacement for Don Garber are going to have to try and figure out how to pick up the pieces and find a better deal. Could it be Netflix? Could it be Fox? I mean, there's a lot of different possibilities out there, but I think what's going to end up having to happen is they're going to have to take a page out of what NWSL has been doing, what USL has been doing, and say, we can copy that. We can do exactly what they're doing, and we can show the world what this sport is capable of because we have the ability to draw in talent like Lionel Messi and the rest of them, whereas NWSL and USL can't. What do you guys think here? Are you any bit surprised? Are you even disappointed by this? I mean, in my case personally, I was actually kind of in favor of this deal initially. The Apple TV deal for someone who deals with New York City Football Club prior to MLS, if the Yankees were playing, then NYCFC could only be seen on an app that frankly was just straight terrible. It was an app that, no joke, would black out in its own city. So people in Queens, Bronx, Brooklyn, they couldn't, Manhattan, they could not watch YCFC games on the Yes app itself. So I was initially in favor of this because of that flexibility. This is, again, something that very clearly has not worked. I think this is hurting the brand for Major League Soccer, and I think getting out of this relationship as soon as possible is going to be the best thing that MLS can do. But again, let me know what you think. Do you think this is something that MLS can come back from? Where do you think they're going to go? Could they get a deal with Netflix? Because I think that would honestly just be prime. If they got Netflix, okay, if they got Amazon Prime, something that's more mainstream than Apple TV, Peacock, Paramount Plus even. There's a lot of options out there for streaming platforms that are more readily available and more commonly used than Apple TV is. So let me know in the comments what you think. Playoffs are this weekend. We'll do a live stream react of the Union and YCFC game. Anyway, I'm Scott from Stream Punk Soccer. Thanks for the time. Take care. And as always, stay awesome.